Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And what we're going to do in this video is take our first look at the UNAS Pro that I have back here in the rack. So you've seen other people do unboxing videos. You've heard other people's opinions. And this is going to kind of be an overview. And then in some future videos, we are going to get into kind of some of the brass tacks of configuration and things like that. So first of all, I want to say, if you've been around for a while, Synology is my go-to in a lot of situations for NAS devices. We also use QNAP, and we've looked at a couple other brands, but we're not quite as dug in on those. So, but we are adding the UNAS to that stable of devices. The reason I'm doing that is because for what the UNAS is, it is incredibly simple to use, it is easy, and it integrates with any network. You don't have to be a UniFi stack to use this. If you are a UniFi stack, it is going to integrate into the rest of the system. It even integrates with UniFi Identity Enterprise. So then you can, if you're syncing your users from Active Directory or Azure or Jump Cloud or any of those services, you're going to be able to use those users to put permissions on files and folders. So real quick, let's take a look at the tech specs here. If you are familiar with the UNVR Pro, this is the same size chassis. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good chassis. It is 2U, and it is nice and hefty. And you can see here on the back, it's got a couple fans. It's got the locking power cord. The processor is a quad-core ARM processor running at 1.7 gigahertz. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. It is managed in-band, and it has two network interfaces on it. It has a 1 gig and a 10 gig SFP plus port. You can set it up using Bluetooth. It does have an RPS backup power port on it. Otherwise, it has the standard universal AP input. It has a 200 watt power supply. The max power consumption is 160 watts with 135 watt budget for the drives. It does have the little LCM display. If you follow me on TikTok or Twitter, I had posted some pictures and some video. You can see that screen up close. Now let's hop over to the UNAS Pro, and you can see here I only have 2 hard drives in it right now, and they're mirrored. And the reason I only have 2 drives in it is because I am going to do some more videos, and we're going to show how to set up different kinds of RAID. We're going to talk about some of the advantages and the disadvantages of those kinds of RAID as we set that up as well. But you can see right now I'm using 6.37 of my 3.99 terabytes. So each of these drives is 4 terabytes. They are mirrored, so I only have 4 terabytes available. You can see that we have 3 users. You can see how much data each user is working. This is the snapshots down here. Up here it tells us for optimal speed, mount drives on Mac OS or Windows via SMB. We're going to get into all that. We can set up backups here. You can see the file services. So we have Mac, Windows, and it also supports Time Machine. So my MacBook Pro will be able to back up to this using Time Machine. Down here I get most recent sign-ins. I get active users. Over here I can show you all of the files and the folders that are on the NAS. So I only have access to Willie's drive. James only has access to James. Tim only has access to Tim. So I can add a shared drive here and give everybody to that. We're going to do that in a later video. You can see that we've got snapshots running at 12 a.m. I can also enforce storage limits. I can also deactivate the share. If I go to the trash, anything that was deleted, you can restore it here within 30 days. Let's take a look at the settings real quick. This is where we're going to set up our backups. I'm going to do that in a future video. Here's our snapshots, shared links, and we're going to get into that. But this makes it so easy to share files. It's like if you're doing secure file sharing, you can pretty much replace Dropbox or any other program that you're using if you have one of these, because it creates a secure link, and it's really cool. You go out, and it's the same thing with some of the other manufacturers where you can create a shared link. It's fantastic. Here are all of our services, and you can see I'm using Ethernet port 1, which is my 1 gig connection. We can also enable NFS. So one thing we're going to try with this, some people have wanted to use this to mount like virtual machines and things like that. And some hypervisors allow us to do SMB, some allow us to do NFS. We're going to try that. You can also turn on disk encryption here. We've got push notifications. You've got your control plane here, which shows us the operating system and the drive versions. We have integrations here. We can monitor this with SNMP. All of our backups. This is our system backup that's going out to Ubiquiti. We've got our storage overview here. Like I said, you can see I'm only using 2 drives. We've got all of our console information here. This should look very, very familiar to you. Here we can add certificates. So we can now add SSL certificates. We could SSH in. Ubiquiti doesn't recommend that unless there's something specific that they have asked you to do. So we're probably not going to poke around in that too much. We've got our push notifications set up over here. And then admins and users is the same thing that we've got. We do have a system log where you can see all of the activity. We can see our storage events, our backup events, our snapshots, services, hosts. You can see that this is kind of vanilla at the moment. I have been copying files back and forth to see how fast it is. I have been putting shared links out to let people download files to see how quickly it works, to see if there's kind of any bugs or anything like that. And I got to tell you right now, we're all very happy with how simple this device is to use it. And I'm glad that it's not overcomplicated, right? If I need to run Docker, or if I need to run, something else, I'll get another device for that. If they add machine level backups like some of the other devices have, I won't be upset about that. But right now, this thing is running so quick and so efficiently that I'd like them to maybe just do more integration into their own ecosystem, right? So can I back up my consoles to this, configs and things like that? Can I, just think about how you could do that further integration. I believe we can back up protect to this, so we're going to try that out as well. But really strengthen this and keep it running fast and snappy. I would hate to see this thing get too bloated, because really, honestly, it is running very well. So if you've got questions about this, or if there are things you want to see, let me know down in the comments. I have videos that I am working on that you're going to see released here shortly. I'm also trying to not say or as much, which is why I've got some weird pauses happening. So if you've got questions about the device, if you've got things that you want to see specifically, ask those down in the comments, or head on over to community.willyhow.com, ask those questions there. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok. Those links are down below, along with affiliate links, a Patreon link. And if you need IT consulting, you need your NAS set up, your network secured, your voice over IP set up, whatever it is, head on over to willyhow.com, fill out the contact form, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. If you'd like to talk about the UNAS or anything else, head on over to community.willyhow.com and start a thread. Once again, I'm Willy. I want to thank you for being here, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.